We're going to begin today in a kneeling position. If your bottom doesn't quite meet your heels, just pop a pillow or a bolster beneath it. You want to feel that connection with your seat bones down into the mat. So allow your eyes to close down and just bringing your hands together at your heart space. Into prayer pose, pressing in so you're feeling already a stretch into your wrists. I'm going to take 3 inhales and exhales, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. As you inhale, allow your chest to rise, your belly to fill, and as you exhale, allow the weight of your hips to sink down. Taking one more breath together. And then gently blinking over the eyes, running your hands down and forward. We're going to set up into our tabletop pose. So bringing your hands about shoulder width apart, fingers spread wide, knees hip width apart. We're going to start to take some slow movements with our hips, just rocking them from side to side. And maybe bringing your head into it, gazing over one shoulder and then the other. Just starting to feel that stretch into the side body and the hip joints. Then we're going to start to make some circles with our hips, rocking backwards and then coming forwards over your hands. Just making sure that it feels nice, not going too far. And then going the opposite direction. Just keeping your breath steady and coming to stillness. We're going to come into our cat-cow. So we're working on the spine today. So we're going to inhale, dropping our belly. We're going to let our chest come through our arms. Gaze comes to the ceiling, tailbone up to the sky. And then exhale, pressing through the hands, pressing the tops of your feet down. Just moving slowly in time to your breath. And then coming back to stillness, we're going to walk our hands forward about a hand width. We're going to lower our hips, sinking down into our child's pose. Just going back as far as is comfortable for you. If your forehead doesn't quite meet the floor, you might want to put a block or even stack your hands one on top of each other. But try to find some way of giving some pressure to that third eye, just helping you to relax. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then slowly raising the hips up. We're going to bring our left hand and we're going to place it a little bit closer to the center line. We're going to inhale, opening up to the right. And as you exhale, sweep that hand through, sinking the hips down. Inhale to open. Exhale to sink through. One more. And this time as we come down, we're going to slide that right hand beneath the left. Bring your right cheek to the mat and extend your left arm out in front. Taking 3 deep mindful breaths here, feeling to stretch the energy running from your fingertips all the way along your arm to your armpit, down that side body. Just taking any movements with the hips or hands that feels good to you. Focusing not so much on your pose or your shape, but on how it feels to you. And then slowly drawing that left hand in, pressing back up, opening to the right. And finding our tabletop again. Just taking that cat-cow float, inhale, gaze to the ceiling, tailbones and raises. And exhale to curl down. See if you can perhaps bring it a little bit deeper. Let your chest come through a little bit further. And then inhale, opening that left arm up to the side. And exhale, flowing it through. Inhale to open. Exhale to float. Inhale, one more. And this time as we come through, letting that left arm go all the way down, left cheek finds the mat, bringing your hips forward and extending that right arm out in front. Just letting yourself melt down, not pressing, feeling the energy all the way up that right arm. And then sliding the right arm in, pressing up all the way. We're going to curl our toes over. We want to make it so each toe is separated. We're going to start to move into the soles of our feet, rocking forward and back. Just moving slowly. And as you come back, perhaps walking the hands in a little bit more. Bringing them all the way up. And noticing if your hips can meet the heels. If they can't, just pop a bolster or that pillow beneath them. Otherwise, taking our 3 breaths here. And then coming forward, flipping the toes over, sinking back onto our heels. This time we're going to take our hands out in front. We're going to gently start to draw the fingers on our left hand back, feeling that stretch all along the front of the palm and into the wrist. Inhale, exhale to release. And then switching hands, just moving gently, one finger, one hand at a time, making it feel absolutely delicious and perfect for you. And then slowly we're going to make some circles with our wrists. And bringing them back to the hands, rocking forward. We're going to roll over onto our back. So crossing the feet over, soles of the mat finding the floor, and slowly lowering down. Walking the feet in as close to your bottom as is comfortable. If you can touch them, that's great. Otherwise, just making them a comfortable distance apart. And I want you to draw your knees in together. We're going to go into our bridge flow. We're going to inhale. As you inhale, tilt that pelvis up, hands by your side. And exhale, lowering down, moving super slowly. And then tilting the pelvis forward so you can feel your tailbone connecting with the mat. Inhale to raise. And exhale to lower. Again, really feeling into that spine. Trying to elongate it, creating one long line of energy from our pelvis to the crown of our head. And as we raise next time, we're going to pause at the top. So coming up, drawing our knees in, really tightening your buttocks. We're going to raise our hands overhead. Inhale and exhale, floating down. Inhale to raise. And exhale to sink down. And this time as we raise up, we're going to pause at the top. Perhaps interlacing the fingers, really pressing through your heels, stretching, pressing those hands away so that you can feel your arms connected to your ears. One long, beautiful line of energy stretching into the whole front and back of the body. Holding it for 2 more breaths. And then slowly releasing the hands, exhaling, wrapping your hands around your knees, giving yourself a hug, just rocking from side to side. Now bring our hands to our knees. Now we're going to make some circles. Just really massaging into that lower back area. If this doesn't feel good, just pause and keep hugging. And going the opposite direction. And then slowly allowing the right foot to find the mat, extending and pressing through the heel. I'm going to draw that left knee into the chest. And we're going to take our hands behind our thighs and start to straighten that left leg up towards the ceiling. Really aiming to get your heel or the sole of your foot parallel to the roof. Drawing back both toes. And gently taking a few pulses. Not trying to go too far, just finding your edge. Finding where you can feel that stretch. That still feels nice. And then we're going to pause and take our 3 beautiful deep breaths. Inhaling through both nostrils and exhaling through the mouth. And then releasing, drawing them in, giving it one more hug. And then switching feet, extending that left leg down the mat. Right knee finds the chest. Just taking a few gentle rocks to warm it up. And bringing your hands behind the leg and start to straighten that foot towards the ceiling. Just noticing if there's a difference between one side and the other. Taking those gentle pulses, finding that edge, that point of resistance where you can feel the stretch but it feels delicious, not painful or too much. Then coming to stillness, pressing through the heel, taking our 3 breaths. Really releasing any tension that you're holding with your exhales. So allowing the exhales to release the tension in the muscles and bring you into that state of relaxation. And gently releasing the leg, giving it one more hug, and then allowing it to find the mat. And bringing your hands by your side, coming into our final resting pose of Shavasana. Releasing from your toes, feeling the weight drop away from your legs. Your knees roll open, hips relax, belly softens. Feel your shoulder blades melting into the mat, and the back of your head becoming heavier and heavier as you release all the tension from your body. Just bringing your hands together at heart center, bowing down the head. We raise them to our third eye for compassion in our thoughts. We bring them to our lips for compassion in the words that we speak, internally to ourselves and externally to others. And we bring them to our heart space for compassion in the actions we choose to take as we walk our journey every day. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free, and may my thoughts, my words, and my actions contribute in some way to that. Thank you for joining me for our Feel Good Flow. I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, and I'll see you again soon.